Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Career. Today it's episode number 11 and today we are going to be wondering why my character in-game has its eyes closed all the time. But actually that's quite weird, I just noticed that. But now more seriously, today we are going to be finishing the light version of this ship. So basically we are going to be finishing the less detailed and less laggy version of the ship. It's basically not going to have so much interior as the full version will have, but I will try to put all features we need in. And so we need to finish some more details on deck outside, and we need to finish the ballast here, or the lower part of the ship where all of these hatches are, to just make it more fun to play around with when you're going to be repairing these leaks, let's say. And yeah, this will be quite a busy episode. Also, we are going to be trying to get some more money before we launch this thing using our helicopter. But now, without further ado, let's get into the workbench and start off with the first thing that we want to do. So we shall start off with making this whole area look good, because there are some interiors that we don't need for the light version, such as interiors of cabins. Those are just unnecessary. But there are some necessary interiors that we will use, such as, for example, the steam room or engine room. I don't know if this thing is supposed to be called an engine room on steamships, but I guess yeah. Or just the ballast here. So we added our ballast tanks. Although this was quite painful for me, I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. And yeah, I'm going to test out how exactly they work and how the ship looks if it's fully filled. And yeah, I also added some interior down there. So let's get there and look around just a little bit. So this is the main area here down in the bow. This is the hatch that can open to simulate a leak that we made. I think it was the episode before last episode, episode 9. That's the ballast tank, and yeah, it's full of water. And now here we also have some more areas, and we also have the ballast tank here. That's the starboard bow ballast tank, and there's a hole here, and it leads down into the logic room. So if there is a leak in the bow, it fills up basically the whole bow except for the ballast tanks. And then I also, oh, it's another stern ballast tank now. And I also added a great space down here. So that's good. We can again repair the leak. And also I think, yeah, we can repair gearboxes, because I'm pretty sure there is some kind of a gearbox failure. Let's now begin work on this thing, or maybe not. We first need to make that stabilization system. So now we have all of this set up. We even have stabilization, and this isn't really something like the stabilization system where there are weights on top of a rail and it moves from side to side. This is more of a slow stabilization system, but it works well when you, for example, have a container on one side and the ship wants to list. It will catch that and slowly bring it back to an even keel. And yeah, that's great. So now let's do the interior portions. And today I want to maybe do like one cabin for the person who's using the ship, maybe two of them, and do like a med bay and a workshop area and an equipment room. And I want to lay out all of the rooms we will do for the full version, and I want to make like functional hallways, make all of this work well. So let's now start off with this deck, then move on down and down again, and then at the end we will do the engine. And because this is going to take quite long, let's do a time lapse. So, deck number, is it 1? I believe it's 1. Yes, deck number 1 is finished. Let me just turn on player center lights. And so this deck is now done. There are lights everywhere. And so I made a mess hall here, which this looks quite nice. We can also enter the boat here if we want it. Then I obviously made these cabins, so we can turn on the light here. These are probably one of the biggest cabins that are going to be on the ship, and they have a beautiful view. If you remember in our first, second or third episode, I don't know, we made these openable windows. Now this cabin is locked because we only need 2 cabins. Then there's a kitchen here with ovens, cookers, a freezer, a big hallway. In the full version, this will be cabins again, because there is some space here, and I might very much have to put physics flooders in here. And also, if you come around to the other side, I just made a little bit of interior down here. It's nothing special, but it's at least it looks nice. I also added these small things just to make it look a little better and to add some rope anchors. But now I am just judging by how much time this has taken me. That time lapse was probably very long, and because the other floor is basically the same thing as this one was, I'm going to do this floor and not record it, so I will be back very soon with this floor, or not this one, and actually even some interior on this floor, and then we will do a time lapse of me building this here. So let's now work on that. Well, so I worked on it, and as you may notice, the ship is now listing about 1 degree to port, but I went and worked on the deck that's right under this deck. So let's get there and let's look around. So we can enter via this door, and there's just a hallway here. It leads around this area. There's a small equipment bay thing here. There's a promenade-ish thing. Looks quite nice. There's some kind of a meeting room and access to the car deck. Then there's a small little paint storage thing. Here we have some clothing. Here we have a toilet. And this is a kind of a community room thing. This is basically the center part of the residential area of the ship. There's a small storage thing here. These will all be cabins, or these. There's a toilet. Another equipment area. This is the control room we built last episode, I believe. Then this leads to the drill room, and we will work on this after I show you around. And you may be asking, there's nothing else to show. Well, I kinda also went and worked on deck -1. Not on the engine room, that we will do that now. But I worked on this area, and you can see the paint job is different than it is up there. And it just makes this area seem a lot different than the upper one. And we have a workshop thing with the entrance to the submersible. And also the entrance to the ballast areas. We also have a hallway. And we will have a med bay here eventually. And yeah, basically that's what I've done. This has taken me a long time now. But this is not all we need to do today. So let's work on the engine room now. This will be quite easy because most of it is just cleaning all of this up and making it look a little better. Well, as expected, we hit the limit. So that's bad. I'm going to remove a bunch of things from here, like these beams and stuff, because they're not really needed. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that and I'll meet you soon. So unfortunately I had to bring it back to an old autosave we had, and so I had to call the engine room a void, and yeah, there's nothing to see here anymore. It's just rough, but I guess it's manageable. We aren't going to be going into the engine room that much, and it's better not having a good engine room than having a ship that can't be spawned. I sincerely hope that in the next game some kind of a limit could be avoided, but I understand that there are limits to the code of the game. So now I'm just gonna put in some safety systems such as fire extinguishers and put in other interesting things. I'm not going to record it because it's gonna be quite quick and the time lapse would be very short. But also, due to the issues with the limit, this will have to be the full version. There will be no light version, and this is the full version. This is what we're gonna use, and I didn't expect actually getting the ship down today, or in this video, not today, because this video has taken me now over 3 days. But let's not be depressed about that. Let's add those things and we can call this finished. So with the dry dock filled with water, there is nothing else to do than open the door and let the ship out. Now, before we sail for the first time, I have to say some things. So firstly, from the point we started this, from the first episode, I've been in love with it. It's, I would have to say, my best ship so far. And I think I managed to nail a lot of things on this. Maybe not for everyone, because I do have a weird style of ships that I like. But I really, really love this thing. And I hope you also love it. And I hope you love it when I release it on the workshop. So now let's get underway and sail for the first time and have some fun with it. But one thing that is true about this is if we sail with it now, yes, we can just play around with it and have some fun. but we can't make money with it because we are not currently in career, and we will need some money to make money with this in career, and that's around 600k because now this thing is 800k in career. So let's get that. Let's get some money using the helicopter. Well, we're here at FJ Warner, and this is enough for today, or for me for today. Enough lifting containers, as we already have around 270,000, which with this container and with this helicopter that should be 350,000, which is good. Although our goal is 800,000 for the ship. But let's put this down. Done. Great. Now that that is done, we can do the outro with the ship. So be prepared for me to ramble on about this thing for some time, but I really did enjoy it. And so I did not expect to have it done today, but considering that we hit the data limit, it actually makes quite a lot of sense. There will be probably no full version. This is the full version. This was meant to be the light version with only 2 cabins, but I guess we don't need really cabins, and we don't really need a decorated engine room. So it doesn't really matter that there aren't some cabins, there isn't some interior. I still love this ship extremely much, and I think it should be able to do the job it was made for very quite well. Now this build is so far the build that I've enjoyed the most. I never got burnt out of building this. Every time I wanted to build something on it, I just started building, which that's weird because I don't normally do that much, and this is a gigantic project and I did it all, which is very weird because I normally jump between different projects a lot and don't finish some. So it's great, and that just really shows that the main thing you need in a build is to really love the build. And if you love it, you are going to push on and you are going to learn new things and make better builds later. Now also, I'm guessing this video was quite delayed. That's because at the same time this video is pushed out, I will also be pushing out 2 other videos about the story of this ship and also a user manual about this thing. So that's that. The next episode might also be delayed because getting 800,000 in career is quite a problem. But I don't think it will be that delayed. Yeah, it's fine. But now I really hope you enjoyed this build, enjoyed these past, I think it was like 8 episodes, as much as I did. And see ya!